Welcome to a vaguely familiar podcast. My name is Nazar, and as always, with me is my co-host and brother,
Bashaar.
Bashaar. Today, we're talking about a broken record segment of the Vaguely Familiar podcast, and we are going deep into a album that is behind my shoulder that happens to be the lead single track that's on your shirt and my sweatshirt. We are talking about Mayer Sob Rock, ladies and gentlemen.
Some would even say we're going back in time. Back
Some would
to the
say that.
80s.
Some would say that, and some would be correct when they would say that, because
I want to
Wow.
rewind a bit.
let's go.
I want to go back
Let's rewind, sir.
to... This is our first John Mayer album release ever since we became fans. Ever since
Yes.
I became a fan,
Same.
right? This is 2017.
Yep.
So when I heard his songs, his last album was The Search for Everything.
Yep.
And like I just really dove deep into all of his albums, the deep cuts, the unreleased songs, and I was like, this man is a poet. This man is a modern day poet.
Yeah.
He is a phenomenal thinker and one of the greatest guitarists alive.
True. Very true. Alive, dead or alive, actually. One of the few that transcend their genre of music and bleed over to other genres of music. Because this man can do R&B, hip hop, rock, blues, pop, everything.
Yeah.
He can do everything.
So, I mean, I became a fan in 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
We saw him live in 2019.
Yes. Great night.
Which, in my opinion, was such a unique tour. He wasn't touring an album.
Yeah.
He wasn't touring, any new projects. He was literally touring to play his best hits.
It felt like a greatest hits tour, didn't it?
It was.
For a second, it felt like that because, one of the deepest regrets of our life will remain to be missing him on night one of Toronto, where he did split screen sadness. I can't even talk. Split screen sadness acoustic in Toronto, and we missed it. And we even had tickets and we didn't go. And this is gonna be one of the regrets we have to live with for the rest of our life, and that's okay. That's a bargain that I will take. But you're right. That tour felt like a greatest hits tour. We were huge fans. It's one of those few moments, like we were just doing a Coldplay podcast, and I forgot to mention this, but when we were huge Coldplay fans, our peak Coldplay fandom bisected with Coldplay's best tour. Agreed?
Absolutely.
Same thing happened with John Mayer. Peak John Mayer fandom bisected with arguably his best tour. And when things like that happen, it's
stars
great.
align.
Stars align. That's like you are riding a high for this artist, and you are all in their music, like completely drenched in their world, and then you see them live, and it's great. And whatever suspicions you had are totally gone away. This person is amazing.
It was such an amazing tour, and like just the fact that he was playing back-to-back nights, and there was hardly any repeats aside from his greatest hits that he had to do.
Yeah.
Like he was hardly repeating songs on set lists.
Yeah. That's why he's one of those few artists that you should see as many times as you can, because each night is going to be different.
And
If not anything, the set list order is going to be different, and that's a whole completely different vibe.
yeah, and that adds on to my regret of not seeing Coldplay twice. And this is a lesson that I've learned. Like when your favorite artist is in town and they're doing 3 shows,
Yeah.
go to all 3 of them, or at least as many shows as you can, right?
Yes, because every show is going to be different.
Yeah.
No 2 shows are the same. I've seen the Goo Goo Dolls 4 times in my life, and all 4 shows are completely different.
And it doesn't really matter that much like where you are. Like, yeah, obviously being on the floor close to the stage matters, but I think there's a different experience from every end of the concert hall.
I agree.
Totally. So even if
totally
you're
true.
getting like nosebleed tickets for $35, take the opportunity, go see your favorite artist.
Yeah, and it's just the worst seats I ever had to see any artist was the Bryan Adams. It was me and Kendrick, and we saw him literally, and this is not a joke. It was the last row, last seat of the hall at GM Center in Oshawa. Last row, last seat. Like there was nobody behind us, and we still made a night out of it, and it was amazing, and it was just hit after hit, and it was great, right? And we like to think that if we were 3rd row, 4th row, that would have been a different experience. we'd be really close to Bryan Adams, but we still had a good time. And that's why, if you can, you should go. Live music has now become more of a novelty, especially after COVID. If your favorite artist is coming, go check them out. You won't regret it. Experiences, I mean, yeah, be safe and all that, but never compromise on experiences, because that's something that you'll keep with you for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. And the money you spend at concerts, I think it's a great investment into the memories of your life.
100%.
I have never been to a concert that I've paid for and I've regretted. Like,
agree.
I wish I was at home. I've never said that ever.
Agreed. Totally agreed. It's just a vibe with being like thousands of people together. And it would now give anxiety to some people to think it like that. But still for me, I'm like, I'm with a core number of people that want to be here for this one thing. Right. And it's great. But I think
so that's what we were like building off of, like, right? So we saw him in concert, and then we were just like we were already in awe of him.
Yeah.
But we just developed a deeper love for this man.
Yeah, totally. Sorry.
And
yes.
And that's when we were like, okay, like, I wonder what song he's going to release next. I wonder what the next album was going to be like.
Yes. And so prior to Sob Rock coming, there was supposed to be another album which got shelved. There was an album supposed to come out in 2020, got completely shelved. He started rewriting an album that turned into Sob Rock.
Because he announced it in 2020, like I think maybe accidentally on his live show.
Yeah.
Current Mood. And that is when I was like, okay, he has an album coming that he's working on.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah. And he played some songs on the Current Mood as well, which sounded so good. Which one was the one with the skies and the clouds, Blue Skies Forever or something like that? Great song. I don't remember the name. I'm horrible with names, but that was the type of vibe that we were feeling. Very Born and Raised-ish, very mellow, very piano ballady. And it was a vibe, because in 2019, the last song that he dropped was Carry Me Away. And it was not the one on the album version. It was the one before the album version, which was a bit more slower, a bit more moody. He called it an after summer jam. And that's exactly what it was. It felt more fallish. It was that kind of vibe. And we liked it. And the one before that he dropped was I Guess I Just Feel Like, which is also an acoustic-y, warm, ballady type thing. And the consensus was the fans thought, okay, so we're getting a mix between maybe a Continuum and Born and Raised-ish album. And I was all for it. And then I got really deep into the whole Reddit stuff, man. I'm telling you, that thing was...
You were knees deep.
I was neck deep. I was knee deep, my guy. I was swimming for my life.
Like it was what do you call that? It was like, duddle.
Yeah, it's wow, this is our
like, okay, he was neck deep, but he was like going deeper and deeper into it.
Yeah. It was a sinking
sands.
No. Oh my god.
Can somebody Google what do you call dull in?
Yeah, you know what we're talking about. Oh my god. Quicksand. Holy crap. Writer here. Masters in, what are you? oh my god. Proper brain fade moment. But this is why we do it live, kids. This is why we do it for you. Yeah, dull/quicksand moment where I was literally knee deep in Reddit. But the thing is, Reddit was on point, man. I finally see the power of Reddit.
And I was shocked. Like, there's one day that you came to me and you're like, John Mayer, album coming out. It's called Sob Rock. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
How does an artist like John Mayer go from an album called The Search for Everything to Sob Rock? How do you do that?
Only John Mayer can do that.
That is also true.
Only John Mayer can be like, I'm going to be introspective and you know what I'm going to search for? Everything.
Yeah.
Search for everything. And then after that, I'm going to go into an album called Sob Rock because I'm going to be in my feels. And I'm like, yes, sir. I will buy that. Twice over, I will buy that. And I did. Where's my record?
Isn't it behind you?
No, anyways, yeah. The signed version is behind me. There's the vinyl in my room. But I did buy it. I bought it twice. And it's that good. It's that good. He landed.
Change battery pack.
Oh, battery died. Oh, shoot. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just take that version of it.
Okay.
Right? We'll just use that whenever I'm talking. So
you have the vinyl.
Or you... Yeah. So yeah, I bought the vinyl twice over because of this, because that's how good the album was when it came out. But we had our apprehensions, man. We've been stung many times in hopes of albums that we thought were gonna be good, and we're just like, Drake's done this a lot of times. Like, we're not huge Drake fans, but whenever a Drake album drops, we listen to it, and 95% of the time we're like, okay, 2 songs are good, but what else? Did we need the other 18? And that's the vibe that I was sort of getting, because people were like, I don't know what to think about this. It's called Sob Rock. I don't know.
And like I couldn't believe it until I saw the advertisements,
Mhm.
and then when he officially announced that it's going to be called Sob Rock, I was like,
You see the Instagram post in the morning, and you see Sob Rock, and you see him on the cover. What are your thoughts?
okay, like
Okay.
you know, I'm open to this. I like the idea. Let's see. This is going to be a journey,
Yeah.
and I am open for it, and I am open to be on it with you
Yeah.
and explore the ideas that you had.
Mm-hmm.
But a few things kind of disappointed me, like when I learned about the track listing,
Yeah.
that there were like at least 3 songs that were already out.
New Light. I guess I just feel like
Carried Me Away.
Carry Me Away.
And I was like,
that was what Reddit was angry about as well. I'm a big Reddit guy now. And I was going through all of that, and people were angry about that. They were like, okay, you release an album after 4 years.
it's 10 songs.
10 songs. You put 3 songs that have already been out. One of them has been out for 3 years. So you basically give us 7 new songs.
And his single was already out at the time.
Single was already
Last
out.
Train Home was already out.
Yeah. So you kind of already have 40% of the song. Like, what? And then he also did a live IG live where he sang "All I Want Is to Be With You."
Yeah,
So
and
half of the album was
And
out.
he also like kind of previewed a few songs on TikTok.
Yeah.
He was doing that a lot.
Yep. And yes, that's true. And so people were very underwhelmed by that. And I was half on that ride, half not on that ride. Someone on Reddit made a really good comment. They were like, do you know that when Continuum came out, Half Gravity, Belief, and I think another one, a few of the songs on, I think I Don't Trust Myself But Loving You, those 3 songs, or Vultures, were already played with John Mayer Trio. Like, those were out on an album. Did you know that? And I was like, whoa. And Continuum is his best work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying Sob Rock is his best album. No way. But that was the analogy that person made. And I was like, okay, so this is not unheard of. This has been done before. I can get behind this. There's no problem. The songs that he chose to put on the album, the 3 that were pre-released, they're really good songs. So,
and I think like marketing wise, it also made sense. Like when he put New Light on this album, it's his most streamed song.
yeah, it's a hit.
And so, you know, when you listen to that song, you go to the album,
Yeah.
it's Sob Rock.
Yeah,
So you discover it's
marketing wise, I can get behind that. I see it. I respect it. I get it. For the most part, I was just a bit disappointed in the track listing when it came out. But now that it's been a few months after the album's come out, I listened to the entire album in a row, and I do listen to the entire album in a row, and it meshes well, it gels well. So I don't have any complaints anymore.
What were your initial thoughts? Because we actually heard the album the best way that it can ever be heard.
Yep.
Which was live on Clubhouse with John Mayer walking you through track by track.
Oh yeah.
There's no better way to listen to an album.
Love it. I wish he would do this for every release moving forward, because that's exactly how I want to hear it.
Yeah.
There was no other person talking. It was just him. He was playing the album in the back. And so what I was doing when he was playing the songs, I would just switch to Spotify, listen to it real time, and then come back on the Clubhouse Live. And it was amazing, and it was wonderful. And as he was talking about the song and he would play the song, I got more insight on it. Even the tracks that I liked before, the ones that were released, I had a more deeper appreciation for.
And you don't get that too often with John Mayer. Like John Mayer hardly ever talks about, oh, I wrote Gravity and this was like the deeper context behind it. Or Slow Dancing in a Burning Room actually means this.
Yeah.
He never does that.
No.
And I like that. I like when artists leave the song up to the listener for their interpretation.
Yeah, I agree.
But this one was unique, and I think like you said, it made me like a few more songs in a more deeper way.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get into that when we go track by track.
Yeah. When you heard the first single, what were your thoughts? Because that's a very different. It was your first single as a John Mayer super fan that was coming out for an album that you hadn't heard. What were your thoughts when you heard Last Train Home?
I was like, this is really 80s-esque.
Yeah.
but I liked it. I was open to it. I liked the music video for it, and a lot of the things. I was like, you know what, this is fine. This is good. I'm cool with this. I'm open to this. Give me more.
The music video won a VMA, MTV Music Video Award for Best Rock Music Video, and I think it's a great video, man. It's shot in film, has those really beautiful, tasty grains on it. Abandoned train station, very 80s vibe, long hair, the leather jackets. Give it to me all day. Loved it. Loved the opening single. Heard the Fishbowl song on TikTok. Heard the Regret song on TikTok. Was completely hooked. I was like, this album is gonna be great. And when the album came out, I thought it was great. I love this album. I think where we were talking about Music of the Spheres and where Music of the Sphere fails in all aspects, this is where Sob Rock elevates in all aspects. One of the things that we consciously chose to do was not review this album when it came out. Like same thing with Music of the Spheres. We didn't review it when it came out. We reviewed it after we sat with it, and we really sat with Sob Rock, man. Like the entire summer and half of fall, we've listened to it, and we can for sure say that Sob Rock is certified gold. It's really good from top to bottom.
It is, and I actually love listening to albums top to bottom. Like I feel like a lot of the artists, there's a reasoning behind why the songs are in that particular track listing.
Yeah, track listing is an art, and people choose specific things. There's a reason why Last Train Home is the opener and All I Want Is to Be With You is like there's a story behind it, and it takes you on a journey. That's why I love listening to albums top to bottom too. And Sob Rock is literally one of those albums, when I put it on, I know for 38 minutes I'm in good hands. I'm good. Like, I don't need to change anything. I don't need anything else. It's going to make me feel happy. It's going to make me feel sad. It's going to make me feel, it's going to make me want to dance. It's going to make me want to hug someone. It's all of those feels, bro. And it really is Sob Rock. I'm all for it.
Very well said.
Thank you, sir. I am a writer. That's what I kind of do. I did write this whole thing down, so I'm glad you appreciated it.
Good. And I think like going track by track, Last Train Home was amazing, but I think the song that really stuck with me was
Go for It.
Shouldn't Matter. Shouldn't matter. It should not matter, but it does. It does. It does. It matters.
It really does. It really does.
And I think
really do be mattering.
that song is, of people who have heard that song, even like John Mayer fans, they're overlooking this track. Personally, I feel like this is John's best work in terms of songwriting.
Oh wow,
lyricism, and
really high praise.
It is. I love it. I love it. And I was like, you know what?
Do you think Shouldn't Matter What It Does will be one of those songs where, like, you know how people go back to Split Screen Sadness now, and you're like, why did we overlook that song? That song is great.
Yes.
Right. I feel like that's what's gonna happen to this. It's kind of like the Emoji of the Wave of this track of this album, where like you go back and you're like, whoa, yeah, you like Still Feel Like Your Man is pretty good, and you know all the other tracks, We're Gonna Live Forever and Me is like one of the ones that makes me want to cry. But Emoji of a Wave, bro, like that's the one. I feel like that's what's gonna happen to this track.
Yeah, absolutely. And
what does it make you feel, sir?
The thing is that older John Mayer songs have made me feel a certain way, and they've led to me doing certain things.
Yeah, and
I think this song was like, no, you shouldn't have done those things.
Yeah,
you know, you should have done more. You should have learned a lesson from the year before.
Oh Lord, we're quoting songs here, guys.
And I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. I could not agree with you more.
Yes.
So it's a bit more mature song, right?
Yeah.
It's John Mayer. People think that we are naive to what John Mayer music is like and what he is in his personal life.
Yeah.
Right. We exactly know who John Mayer is and the type of person that he is and what he used to be, what he has evolved into. Yep. And we know what to do, what not to do. Like, you know, his songs can put you in the feels. Yeah. At the same time, you need to control those feels.
Okay.
Control the feels.
So you're talking about a very specific moment in Edge of Desire in LA. You can look this up, guys, on YouTube, where he talks about how you should definitely text that girl that you have been ignoring, maybe for a valid reason, maybe for not. And you're talking about that one moment, sir?
Perhaps. And just as a reference,
oh my God, This man.
We have written an essay on that song for my. Actually, I had written an essay. He helped me edit it.
So, yeah, I wrote an essay for John Mayer for the track "Edge of Desire" by John Mayer for your class. Does that revoke your degree? UFT, get in contact.
I wrote it. He edited it. We're all good.
Yeah. Anyways, we wrote this essay, and what did you get on it?
I got an 84 on it. That's one of my most proud A minuses.
Hey, that's one of my most proud A minuses, sir. And we poured our heart on that essay, and it was beautiful.
And UFT is they mark pretty hard.
Yeah, they do mark pretty hard, as I would know. I mean, as you would know. and yeah, so like that's how
just coming from that place where John is like, oh, text that person, call that person. Life is too short to keep playing the game. No, it's not.
Yeah,
relax.
Come on. That's a drunk John Mayer talking, guys.
There's a reason why, and people think we don't know this, but there's a reason why John Mayer is 40-something years old, 43, and still single. There is a reason behind that.
You know what the reason is? Just waiting for the right one, man.
Till the right one comes.
He said it. He said it for people like you, so you would stop talking to them on podcasts like this. He said it for you. He's waiting till the right one comes. Who's that knocking at my door? Someone that I've been looking for.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, this wasn't that sad. This album wasn't that sad.
Yeah,
like, I think the Search for Everything was a post Katy Perry breakup.
Search for Everything was sadder. That's the hot take.
It's so sad. Still Feel Like Your Man is so sad.
Yeah. Rosie,
I still keep your shampoo in my shower in case you want to wash your hair. Buddy, you had to throw that shampoo away. She ain't coming back, buddy.
She ain't coming back, bud. She's not coming back. That's true. She didn't come back. Instead, he had to write Sob Rock. So, good on us. My favorite line of Shouldn't Matter But It Does is we could be busy naming baby number 3.
Could have been always. It could have been me. We could have been busy naming baby number 3. And then you came back to me with this with your Reddit theories.
There we go. Reddit bros. If anybody from Reddit is listening to this podcast, please leave a comment because I would really love to see how much of this translated over. But yeah, one of the Reddit bros connected me to a video of him singing Dear Marie in Dublin in 2019, where he sings the lines, I got my dream, but you're on baby number 3. And the greater John Mayer cinematic universe is now complete, where Dear Marie is about shouldn't matter what it does, and those two songs are now like linked to each other. And so now whenever I listen to Dear Marie, I'm immediately like, here, this is what I regret.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Marie was John Mayer's first girlfriend in high school. Yeah. I think like first or second year of high school.
Yeah,
and so John Mayer says that girl was my girlfriend for who I was, and she knew me before I was the John Mayer.
Yeah, the superstar John Mayer.
And every person after that, because he got successful quite young, every person after that, or every partner that he's had, they've dated him because he was a singer-songwriter John Mayer and not just John Mayer.
It's a heartwarming story. He says it on YouTube, guys. Everything that we're talking about is going to be linked below. And we will provide evidence of everything that we're saying. But yeah, one of those heartfelt stories was when he was talking about who Marie was. That's not her real name, but it was one of those stories where you're just like, wow. Even in that song, there's a line where he says, I got my dream, but you got a family.
Yeah.
I got my dream, but I think I got away from me.
I think you got away from me.
Yeah.
It's deep.
Dear, man. Jesus Christ.
New Light. It was already out.
Already a banger, bro. New Light also... I love when people do this, and John Mayer does this a lot. Even his happy songs are tragically sad songs. I'm the boy in your other phone, lighting up in your drawer at home all alone, pushing 40 in the friend zone. Has there been a more tragically written lyric?
So are you trying to say that John Mayer songs are, so this song in particular is like, it's a happy song, but it's disguised as... It's a sad song disguised as a happy song.
I love those songs. Yes, that's his vibe. That's what the Goo Goo Dolls do. That's what Mayer does. That's what Coldplay used to do.
Can't believe you mentioned Goo Goo Dolls, John Mayer, and Coldplay in the same breath.
How could you? Gotta do it. How could you? You're telling me Slide, which is one of their biggest songs, is a happy song? It's about a Catholic teenage couple trying to abort their kid. Sit in silence with that. Sit in silence with that. Yes, sir.
Let
And it's
that
a
sink
banger.
in.
It is a banger when it plays in the club. What club is it playing in? I don't know. What club is playing 90s rock music? I don't know. But when it plays, it's a banger. Sir.
Alrighty. Which leads us to the next track. Why You No Love Me.
All right. I want to have a conversation about why you don't love me.
Why You No Love Me.
Stop saying it like that.
It's like when you say something so many times that it loses its meaning.
Why you no love me? Hey, I'm a proponent. I'm a fan. I love Why You No Love Me. I think it's ridiculous. I know that the title.
It's cringy. It's pretentious, and
but you know what album it's on? It's in an album called Sob Rock.
yeah.
And if I expected anything less, I was the fool.
You know, I think this goes back to what I was saying about music of the spheres. I love it when artists like John Mayer and Coldplay, they can, go out and make unique, different music that they want to make.
Sure.
Because they've already made the, or I should blood to the head, they've already made the continuums, right?
Yes.
They've made the great songs. It is now time for them to maybe explore something different.
Yeah.
Do you think, and also not caring about the hits necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
because we saw Ed Sheeran's documentary for Apple Music,
Mm-hmm.
and he was literally told by his record company to go back and make a hit.
Yeah.
And that's when he made what's the song
Shape of
called?
You.
Shape of You. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm glad that because Sob Rock does have a hit, which is Last Train Home. It did climb the adult charts. It did climb radio charts. It did well, right? Why You Don't Love Me is a good song. I made a TikTok on it. That's how much I like it. People on TikTok were Swifties on TikTok. Let's be honest.
What did you say?
I talked about how it made sense after you hear what he's trying to say, what he's saying about it, right? What he's talking about it. He talks about Why You Don't Love Me, and he says this is a song of when I felt so defeated that the words were jumbled in my head, and that's how they were coming out from my mouth. So I'm not trying to make a meme reference. I'm not trying to make it sound kooky or funny. This is just how I have said these words in moments of sadness or desperation. And I relate to that, man. Like it's like having a typo in your brain when you're trying to save someone, not save someone, but stop someone from leaving. It's like that. And I can relate to that. I mean, a lot of people can relate to that. So I give Why You Don't Love Me a pass. Do you think if the song lyric was Why Don't You Love Me, would it change how you look at that song? Why don't you love me?
Yeah, I was just that's the silence. I was trying to play that in my head.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe, who knows? But I think definitely like Why You Don't Love Me, it didn't sit too well
with you. So is it a repeat song? Like when it plays, when you're listening to the whole album through,
I skip it.
You skip
that's
it?
one of the songs
that's
that I
one.
skip.
Okay, all
I
right.
skip that
See,
song.
for me, it's not because it
It's
has
just-
one of the most harshest lyrics that he's ever written. Where he talks about the family. What is it? The lyric, man. Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
Why You Don't Love Me lyrics. Hurt me once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the
Hurt me once, I let it be. Hurt me twice, you're dead to me. 3 times makes you family.
that lyric is so good. You put that under an IG caption and it blows up.
Or people call for help.
Or people call for help. Whatever it is, it's either or. And tell me that's not one of the most beautiful lyrics you've heard in a while, right? Is it in a song called Why You Don't Love Me? Yes. But does that make the song any less bad? No. I think it's great. I love it. I vibe with it.
Yeah. I think it's it goes back to like if you actually like look deeper into this the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's like John Mayer says, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you can be on again, off again. But if you're on and off and on and off, that's just straight up toxic.
Yeah. He talked about that with Zane Lowe, and he talked about that song a lot because Zane Lowe was like, "What are you doing with the song?" And Mayer basically said, "Bro, this is life. This is when someone hurts you so many times, you sort of start sharing trauma together, and then you become more than just relationship people. You become family." And hey, I've been there. We've been there, bro. We've seen that happen, and it sucks, but it's true. So I respect that.
Shouldn't matter.
But it does. Next tune,
Wild Blue.
top 20 best John Mayer songs.
If you like play that song to somebody who has known or listened to John Mayer, and like if they listen to the song with no context, they would kind of be pushed back a bit.
You think so?
I definitely think so because like the whole sound of the song, it's non John Mayer-esque. I feel like it's a bit different.
It's very different.
And when he was talking about Wild Blue on Clubhouse, he said Wild Blue is as if somebody injected the song into me and
True.
just ran away. And then he had to make the song. Just had to.
When you said the name Wild Blue, I said top 20 John Mayer song. Are you in agreement or disagreement?
Top 20. Yeah, top 20. Maybe it can make it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like number 1. It could be literally number 20, but it can be there. I think John Mayer's Wild Blue, especially the live version that he did for Colbert, I have not had goosebumps in guitar solos like that in a long, long time, sir.
I was having a discussion with my friend the other day, and he is in love with Wild Blue. And like he keeps going back to that one line he says, and you'll never know the undying beauty and
You'll never know the unlikely beauty of letting you go.
Yeah, and I was like, wow.
And then he says, so go on. And in the music video, he does like this thing where he was like, so go on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
Yes.
And I think, again, lyrically, very strong song, you know? And it's very vivid imagery.
It has a nice groove to it.
It has a groove to it. You want to sway to it. You want to drive to it. It has a very beachy vibe to it. You made a really good reel/TikTok about it with it in the background where you were in Tobermory. It was a sea green lake and you were under it and it was Wild Blue and I was like, yes, that's exactly what the song's about.
Wild Blue, deeper than I ever knew.
You know, I bought the limited edition t-shirt that he released for it. It hasn't shipped yet because none of this stuff is, because whatever, but I bought it because that's how much I like the song. I was like, these are one of the songs that I will keep going back to. And Wild Blue is probably, after Last Train Home, is my most played song of that album.
Really? Okay. Yeah. What did you think of Shot in the Dark? It was a single, I think. He made a music video for it.
I think it was a great music video. It was proper vibey, proper 80s. I thought I was watching something on MTV from like 1987. It was great. Lyrics are short, sweet, simple. I'm glad it does not end on a fading guitar solo. And it has this, you know what? Vibes. That's it. It's all vibes. And I love it. I totally dig it. And he does that weird dance thing at the end of that music video. And I want to do the dance thing at the end of...
It's funny. It's really funny.
I love it. It's exactly what that song needed.
And you often talk about that one line he said in the song where it's like, is the gate code
still your birthday? I love it. Yeah, I love it. 08. What is it? What is my birthday? I forgot. 081496. There we go. Is the gate code still your birthday? I was one of those idiots who kept my ex-girlfriend's birth date as my pin on my credit cards. I was that idiot. So when that ended, I was like, oh boy, gotta change that now, eh? Maybe that's why I'm poor.
TMI.
Don't sue me, guys.
Shot in the Dark. Good. I liked it, but it's not one of the songs that I listen to often.
Really? Because
I would probably skip it if it's on my list.
My friend Abida and I are like chilling together and we're like driving around. She was always like, Shot in the Dark? I'm like, yeah, play it. I love it. I dig it. I want it. Keep like 11 it up, bro. Let's go. Because I feel like that's such a vibey, puts you in a good mood.
Yeah. What did you think of I Guess I Just Feel Like, one of the songs that was already released?
Yeah.
And when I first heard it, I was like, wow, this song is genius. Like, It's like, you can say, I guess I just feel like, and then you can say anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if it's like you're at your therapist and you're like, man, I guess I just feel like.
And then you continue.
Nobody's honest. Nobody's true.
Everything.
I guess I just feel like.
Yeah. And it's one of those songs where it takes you again on a journey where it's just free falling, bro. It's his thoughts are free falling out of his head. You're there to catch it and you agree to it. And you're like, that's how I feel too. Thank you for putting into words, Mr. Mayer, because that's exactly what's going on.
There's one part of the song which I didn't like when I heard it. And that changed for me when I heard John Mayer walking me through the song on Clubhouse. Yeah. And the last line of that song is, I guess I just felt like giving up today. And I was like, man, why is he giving up? You know, it's like, it's so...
You think it ended on a downer?
Yeah, I was like, man. So I would like always skip the song before it went to that line. But John Mayer said, this is very deep. Like he says, The line is, I guess I just felt like giving up today. He doesn't feel like that anymore.
Wow.
I guess I just felt like. So it was a feeling. It's not there anymore. He's past it.
Wow.
He didn't give up.
I never thought about it like that, because I took the lyric for face value and I was like, yeah, he's talking about,
It's past tense.
yeah, but I just thought he was talking about the day. I was like, today I felt like giving up, so I'm giving up. I never thought about it like that, and that changes things for me. I have to re-listen to it. But speaking of that being the last line, and then it falls seamlessly into a very lovely guitar solo that guitar players on Reddit and YouTube have been chasing that sound since it's come out. And it has a very tasty, bendy, so good.
There's actually a video of him on YouTube where he's trying many different solos.
Yeah, he's
trying to find which one is gonna.
And you
fit.
hear where he finds it, and it's like there's an 8-10 minute video of him just going off on that solo, and it's just beautiful, beautiful guitar mastery at its finest, and I love it. I love that song. When it came out, I was in Montreal on vacation with a bunch of my friends, and I played that song on repeat that the night that it came out so many times that Hassan hates that song now, because him and I were betting together, and we were just like, bro, new John Mayer song, we gotta listen to it.
I
And he
think I
hates it
heard
now.
the song on a Sunday night, which for John Mayer fans is, it's a night never to be
Righteous Day.
trusted for emotions.
Oh,
And I was like, man, and I think it was like 2018.
yeah.
It was probably in a dark
It was
place.
2019, actually, February 2019.
2019. Yeah, so probably not the greatest parts of my life, but that's when the song resonated with me.
100%. That's a beautiful song, great song. He plays it live. I love it.
Yeah. The next song on the album by track listing,
Yeah.
Till the Right One Comes.
Yes. So
Love it.
Twitter bros were like, they really wanted to talk about this because not a lot of people gave the song a lot of clout, which is unfair because I think it's one of the better songs off the album, like top 4 for me at least.
It's one of John Mayer's most hopeful songs.
Yes, and yeah, that's true. That is very true. He doesn't really like to go that way in hope. He likes to more dwell in despair. But this time he was like, you know what? I'm going to tell those people who think I don't want to be happy that I do want to be happy. I'm just being patient about it. And he does it in a very masterful, poetic stroke. And I love it.
Like John Mayer is very self-aware. He's
yes.
he's aware that he's 43 and single. And right? So I mean, people want him to get into a relationship just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And that's when John's like, you know what? I realize that I know I have to do that, but only when the right one comes.
Boom.
You can't force things.
No. And that's, I feel, if anything, that song is about peer pressure.
Yeah.
And
Like he's like, you know, people call me crazy.
yeah.
They don't think they don't think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I love the fact that he calls them out on that. And he's like, well, that's what people are saying, but am I supposed to make a move on what people say, or am I supposed to make a move on what I say?
Yeah.
And the best part about that song is the end.
I love the ending.
Where it all comes down full circle. And who's that knocking at my door? Is it someone I've been looking for? Who's that throwing arms around me?
Telling me
that she
me.
finally found me.
And I love that last line, telling me that they finally found me.
Yep.
It's like that Rumi quote where it's like, what you seek is seeking you.
Boom.
So that person that you're looking for is also looking for you.
Yes.
When the stars align, when things are right, you'll meet them.
Hashtag and we created you in pairs. No, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at that verse in the Quran. I'm just laughing at how blatantly these Visco girls on Instagram are ripping it off. It's too much, girls. Holy. Gotta stop.
Hashtag just got hits to my best friend.
And hashtag key emoji, lock emoji.
I can't.
You must. You must. There is no other way.
Yeah. So I mean, the most John Mayer's like most hopeful song. I love listening to it.
I love it too.
It always puts me in a good mood, and
Very groovy as well.
it makes me feel like, because sometimes I am worried about John Mayer. I'm like, buddy, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
Settle down.
Settle down, sir. He's good. I don't worry about him. I think he'll find the person when he wants to find her. And, we as fans and well-wishers can be like, yeah, man, like we really
At
hope
the
that you
same
do
time,
this.
you know,
But
this is quite selfish, but there's a group of people out there who want John to be single and miserable so he can continue to make these songs.
no,
Because,
that's bad. That's not good.
the one album he made when he was in love and in a relationship with Katy Perry,
Paradise Valley,
was arguably his worst album. So people are like, you know what? Let him be in this state. But
so we can get music.
I'm not part of that crowd.
You know, okay, so one of the best bands in the world and one of the best artists in the world are U2, and the lead singer is Bono, and he's been married to Allie Houston for over 40 years. And he's continued to make hit after hit and great song after great song and even sad song after sad song. Like, tell me if there a better love song than All I Want Is You? It's not. Not All I Want Is To Be With You, the John Mayer song. I'm talking about All I Want Is You by U2. That's a beautiful love song. And so it can be done. It can be done. And I just hope that whatever John Mayer hopes to find, he finds it as soon as possible. So that we can get him as a happy John Mayer and see how that looks like as well. I don't think Paradise Valley is an accurate representation of that. There is more to come. For sure. And with that, I would like to take it to the second last song, which is Carry Me Away, which I think needed a needed a boost, and the new drums in it definitely gave it that
also
boost.
Some more piano, like some keys.
Yeah, more key stuff, more groove, more percussions, and now that song is completely elevated to a good jammy summer fall song that I love to listen to.
I agree. The newer version definitely sounds a lot better than the previous one, and it sounds more complete.
It sounds full. Exactly.
Sounds full.
And it's a great song, great tune. You listen to it on a drive. This whole album is a drive album. Put it on and forget about it, and you're gonna have a good 38 minutes, whatever you're going. And in Toronto traffic, you'll maybe make it halfway there, but you know what? Play it again. Last track of the album.
The last track of the album.
It's my favorite track of the album.
Performed this song, All I Want Us to Be With You, on his Instagram Live.
Yes.
I heard that song. I downloaded it on YouTube and I kept playing it for a very long time. But for some reason, I don't know why, but I did not like how it sounded on the album itself.
Really?
Yes.
So that's interesting.
Even though I love how it's written, and I think you can speak on this better, because All I Want Us to Be With You is John Mayer trying to imitate or pay tribute to Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, it's a Springsteen song.
Yeah.
It's a Springsteen Dylan song. It has no chorus. It has one refrain, All I Want Is To Be With You, that keeps repeating. And it's just 4 verses. And I'm a huge, I think we both are, but I would say, personally speaking, I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. I think he's amazing. His lyricism, his music, it'll stand the test of time forever. Great musician. Mayer is a relatively new Springsteen fan as well, and his favorite Springsteen song is Tougher Than the Rest, which is written very similarly to All I Want Is To Be With You, which is verse, refrain, which is in the Springsteen song, he just keeps saying, tougher than the rest. That's his refrain. That was my Springsteen impression.
Guys, good, actually.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Don't nobody at me. So that was him. That was Springsteen version of that refrain, and then Mayer says, All I Want Is To Be With You. And I think it's my favorite song off the album. I think it's...
I know it is, because I hear you listen to that song quite a lot.
I listen to it in the shower, in the car, in my room, when I'm working, cleaning, whatever it is. I love that song. I wish that song was 10 minutes long. And I'm pretty sure when this song is played live, because it will be played live, that end solo is going to be like 4 minutes long. It has to be. And I'm gonna be there for all 4 minutes of it, all 10 minutes of that song. If he wants to release a 20-minute version, Mr. Mayer, I will buy it on iTunes. I love this song. The tricky part about this song, so when you're sad, it becomes a sad song. And when you're happy, it becomes a happy song. That's the thing about this song that I love. It depends on what you're feeling. When I feel like I'm in love, I think about the person that I'm in love with, and this song becomes a love song. When I miss the person that I'm in love with, or I can't be with the person I'm in love with, it becomes a longing, sad song. I want to be with you. All I want is to be with you.
If you look at the song from like John Mayer's perspective, clearly it feels like he's thinking about Katy Perry.
Okay.
They said I'd hurt you. They said I'd run, like I always do with everyone.
Yeah.
But you were different, and that was true. All I want is to be with you.
Yep. I don't know if he's talking about Perry. Maybe he's talking about one of the newer Flames that came and went. I don't know who he's talking about, but um, it's like I love. That's one of my favorite lines, by the way, of the song, just because I don't know. I guess I relate to it. It's poignant. It's soft. There's no trickery. There's no mastery. There's no underlying message. It's as raw. It's raw. It's black and white. This is it. This is what I'm saying. And he doesn't do that a lot, but when he does, I love it. And it feels like, I guess I just feel like, in the sense where there is no filter. This is it, bro. This is all coming in and going out. And I love that. And I think it's a great album closer. The last solo, it's in the key of C, but he plays a minor scale, which is a very guitar. I'm being very technical, but it makes you feel differently. So when it's a major song and it's played on a major scale, you feel more happier and it feels more in tune. But it's played on a minor scale, so you feel a bit different. Like, I don't know how to feel about this. It feels angry. It feels. Somebody said that this whole album is very soft rock, but all the solos are very hard, and they're very rough and they're very aggressive. And there is no better example than this song.
You mentioned that like that line from "All I Want Us to Be With You." It's black and white. It's raw. It's John Mayer letting you into his world.
Yep.
How difficult is that as a writer, as a poet, to share those like raw thoughts with people, like let them out into the world and have people judge it or, make what you want with it?
It's tough because then you're open to, John Mayer is a master, right? This is his 8th album and he's a master at that. So he doesn't really give a shit, but you open yourself to criticism like this, and then you have to deal with it because maybe you're talking about something very tragic or traumatic in your life, and people like you and I actually are like talking about if it works or not. So it's tough, but Mayer writes that line beautifully. Like his most personal album of all time is Born and Raised, which is my favorite album of all time by him, and you can see him being completely raw and completely full of emotion, and him nailing it. So he can do it, and it's tough, but and I wish everybody had those kahunas to be like, oh, this is what I'm thinking about, so this is what I'm going to talk about. Even us on this podcast have to censor ourselves many times because we don't want to say something that'll hurt someone's feelings. So it's tough, but it can be done. And Sob Rock is a very good representation of how it can be done good.
And it shouldn't matter.
But it does.
Closing thoughts. We're seeing John Mayer in February.
Bro. Let's go.
We're amped. We're excited.
Yes.
Watching it with some of my dear friends are also John Mayer fans. And if I look back, like one of the reasons why I'm friends with this person is because of John Mayer.
#07 Nazar. Great guy, great person.
You don't find many Pakistani Desi John Mayer fans.
Yeah.
And he's one of them. So.
And if you do, they're probably related to us because we probably turned them on.
Absolutely. So
you were talking about closing thoughts on the album.
Yeah.
Let's go. I just wanted to say one thing. I think this may not be his best album. This may not be his most personal album, but it's a vibe. In 2021, if we needed a good album, Mr. Mayer delivered it. He said it himself. This is not his last album. There's more music for him to come. If you didn't like it, if you skipped it, it's fine. If you liked it and you loved it, welcome aboard. This for me, from track 1 to track 10, it's a complete listen. I listen to it all the time. It's going to be my most played album of 2021 on Spotify, and there's no shame because it's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that podcast that we do, a Spotify wrap up.
Oh yeah,
of our year end. But yeah, similar thoughts. I think I like the album a lot. It's not his greatest album. It's not my most favorite album.
True,
but it's definitely up there.
It has its moments.
It has me coming back for those songs that I relate to when I'm in that mood.
Yeah.
When I'm sad, I go back to Shouldn't Matter But It Does. When I'm feeling hopeful, Till the Right One Comes. Yep. And that's the gist of like his work, and I love it. And I hope it continues, and we love to see him on tour. And one day he will be on this podcast. So if you guys are listening or watching this podcast on YouTube, you better subscribe, better like, better tag John Mayer, tell him to be on this podcast. If you've had a good time, if you had a good, however long this podcast was, if you enjoyed it, please leave a review on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. That really helps, guys.
subscribe, share it with your friends, and
And just a last disclaimer.
Yeah.
Listen to John Mayer's music, but please do not get in your feels and, do things that he advises. He's 43 and single for a reason. That's all I got to say.
Take care, guys. If there's anything that you thought we said that was wrong, or if there's anything you agreed with, leave a comment and we will get back to as many as we can. This is Nazar Sayed signing off, saying listen to Sob Rock, don't listen to Music of the Spheres, and stay happy.
Cheers.
Cheers.